Welcome to the Fantasy Film Room presented by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. For today's Fantasy Film Room, we are offering our one running back that you need to come away with in your drafts. And Justin Boone, talk about a guy who needs to be in the film room a little bit more, needs to get back, watch the film, clean up the reps. That's me, buddy, because when I pull up the doc this morning, you know, I told you and producer Colin, I have my personal training session every Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You already been in the dock by that point. You already picked your guy. So I'm sitting in the sauna thinking, damn, Justin Boone got the guy I wanted to take in this section. And so go ahead and tell the people about this running back that you want them to grab in every single draft. And I co-sign it with you, buddy.
It is Jordan Mason on the Vikings, formerly of the 49ers, formerly backing up an older back with injury concerns and then stepping in and putting up some really solid performances. I mean, 108 yards from scrimmage over those first 7 weeks before he got hurt himself and missed a little bit of time last year. And he was in the 49ers offense, which we know is one of the best rushing attacks in the league. But this Minnesota offense, they are also going to be a great offense this year. You look at the players that they have there. I mean, some great skill position talent. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be the answer for them at quarterback. The offensive line, they go and upgrade the offensive line there with Ryan Kelly at center, with Will Fries at guard. The offensive line is going to be better. And you have Aaron Jones as the starting running back. And Aaron Jones has a significant injury history. We know that. I mean, you look at what he's dealt with over the last few years, it's just a laundry list of injury concerns, so much lower body stuff. And now he's at an age where he's going to turn 31 during the season. Is this the point where he is going to start to decline? Is this the point where the injuries catch up to him? I think all of that is possible. And I think the Vikings knew that was possible. And that's why they went out and got Mason. And by all accounts, everyone around the team, including the coaching staff, is saying that this is going to be a 50-50 committee. The beat writers have confirmed that that's how these guys are being used in practice right now. And I think there's a non-zero chance that at some point this year, Jordan Mason ends up being the more valuable guy in this offense. I mean, he is a surprisingly violent runner. He's not afraid of contact. He has good vision. We're seeing that even with Minnesota. There's clips coming out. We're seeing him put up, decent runs in practice. He came out in the preseason, had a pretty good showing in their first preseason game, and he's just chewing up yards behind that offensive line. Was a very efficient outside zone runner last year, near the top of the league in that category. And he drops into the same kind of situation with the Vikings where he's going to get those opportunities there. And if you look at the outside zone run metrics from 2024, two different teams, obviously, 49ers having such a good rushing attack for so long in that Shanahan system, but Mason blew away Aaron Jones in most of the categories when looking at those outside zone run metrics. Yards per carry, yards after contact per attempt, explosive rush rate. He is ahead of Jones in all of those. So who's to say that the fresher legs, the younger running back, doesn't overtake the veteran running back? And we already have heard them talk about how he might be the goal line guy there. So that is going to add value as well. Maybe we can see him get to work in the passing game a little more, which really hasn't been something that has been on his resume in the past, but I think he's capable of doing it. I think this guy is going to have a great season, is going to be an RB3 flex option for you, maybe even more. And if Jones does succumb to injuries at some point, we're looking at Mason as a top 12 fantasy back.
I love this call. Jordan Mason's a guy who runs with vision, runs with power, decisive guy. You mentioned the outside zone success. Also pretty good on gap scheme runs as well. And I do think the Vikings want to transition their run game a little bit more towards that. So love the call from you. Like I said, if I was a better podcaster, I would have jumped on the dock and put Jordan Mason first. I didn't. So instead I'm going with, and maybe a little bit of cheating answer, any Jaguars running back. Okay. I want you to target Jaguars running backs in your draft. Doesn't matter which one. I mean, I'd still rank Bashal Tutin first because I think he has the most season-long upside, but there's a path to any three of these guys being the one that you want. Let's start with Travis Etienne. We saw in the preseason game, he got that screen usage. He was out there a ton. I think he could be a guy that is really critical in their screen package, and Liam Cohen ran the most efficient offense from a screen perspective last year, so Etienne could be the guy there. Okay, well, what if they want to go with more power gap scheme runs. Well, which is, by the way, they were number one, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year in yards per carry and third in success rate on gap runs last year. Well, then that's Tank Bigsby. He was the most efficient runner on gap runs with the Jacksonville Jaguars last year. Okay, what if it's just Bashal Tutin? He's the explosive guy on the outside zone runs. Just because they're going to run a lot of gap doesn't mean they're not going to run a lot of those zone run concepts. By the way, the Buccaneers not efficient at all on zone concept runs. So, hey, guess what? Tutin could be that guy there. And really, again, this is just an ambiguous backfield where I don't want to write anything in pen right now. Yes, Travis Etienne was the guy that was out there a ton in preseason, right? We mentioned Tank Bigsby's kind of cryptic tweeting, all right? We don't know for sure what this backfield is, but I will say, from a film room perspective, watching the Tutin preseason late snaps, stuff like that, I loved how explosive he looked. I love how he was hitting holes. He was decisive, which he wasn't always in college. And most importantly, Boone, I don't know if I pointed this out to you on Saturday when I saw you later on, but I did point out to a couple other people. He was holding that football tight. This is the guy that had fumbling problems in college. He was like, I am not going out here and fumbling in the preseason. So love to see that we got that from Bashal Tutin.